Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the show that makes the square sharper and makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my BFF, my companion, my compadre, my co-host, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, how we doing?
My brother, I am rocking the Indiana University hoodie today because, man, my alma mater did all of us proud. We had our first ever Indiana football Gus Johnson moment. It was brilliant. It was ecstatic. It was glorious. I cannot believe it actually happened. Heisman Doza mania is real. This is what it's like to be a college football fan, my friend. To have graduated from a college football school.
It was an incredible game. I had Penn State. Didn't want to text you beforehand and letting you know, hey, this might be a trap spot for your team. I was glad I didn't because at halftime you guys were up 10 and the momentum felt like it was going your way. But it's always funny watching these games. Is it Gus Johnson, the guy's name that calls the games?
Yeah. He
cracks me up because he is this. I mean, everyone knows he goes insane and goes crazy. But he also does these like non sequiturs that are just hilarious to me. He'd be like, "This guy was homeless, eating trash just 9 months ago. He is now has an interception in this game. What an amazing story! What a proud parent his parents must be." And it's like
so, and then it's 3rd and 2, and
it's like the most insane thing. These
I watched the clips of Gus Johnson again and again and again and again because he literally lost his breath. It was so wonderful as an Indiana football fan. You didn't need to tell me it was a trap game. My Indiana text chain. The last comment from like a group of 13 people from one of my buddies who went to IU with me was like, "I'm not liking the metrics here. I don't like the way this looks." and I didn't want to say to him, "It's going to be okay." And then I'm glad I didn't because it got ugly there for a second. But then, we Hoosiered. That's what we do. Hoosier.
Great game.
IU. This is the stripped down in the room eavesdropping version of Sharp or Square. We're going to make some final picks. We're going to make our final five. Now that some injuries have been reported, lines have moved. Quickly, we debated the Broncos heavily. Fortunately, we did not put them in. I thought we were going to go there. You thought we were going to go there. We had a quick conversation. We decided it was not the way to go. So we got a full slate of 5. We got a pick. Are you ready, my brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Minnesota, Baltimore. We've been talking about this one back and forth. On the show and felt like the number was getting too high. And now it's come back down to 3.5. And it's 3.5 everywhere we'd want to play it. That's super hard not to be tempted by Baltimore at minus 3.5. And even though I know the wise guys are chirping about Minnesota and it's kind of moved in Minnesota's way the last 24 hours.
Yeah, this will be our biggest public bet of the week, no doubt. Both love the Ravens. Can't believe it's come back down to where it is. Maybe we're missing something here, right, with this Ravens defense and their problems aren't fixed. And this is going to be a good matchup for KOC. But I feel like you're betting on lightning to strike twice if you're back in JJ McCarthy and this Vikings team after last week in lines. And we see these things happen in football all the time, right? These professionals lock on the teams that go on these little runs and they get in these little streaks. And I think that's what they're looking for here with JJ joining back this Vikings team and maybe getting a little roll here. I think we're in sync on the flip side. It just feels like this is a great spot for this Ravens team. The line doesn't make sense. We're getting great value on it. At 4.5, I think we both were avoiding this one, but at minus 3.5, it's just too good to pass on that opportunity.
Lamar against the Blints. It's not Sunday morning at the deli. Lamar against the Blitz has been brilliant the past couple years.
Best in football.
And in his limited time this year, absolutely beyond brilliant. So I like the matchup.
All the matchups, like even diving into it, all the numbers, it's great run. I just like the floors, the defensive game floors is going to need here, and the coaching that KOC is going to need offensively. They're going to need to be perfect, and that's what we're fading them being perfect here. Where it's going to be the most public side we're going to be on this week, no doubt.
Great. Baltimore minus 3.5. That is in. New England at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, dude, this was Chad's choice. I cannot believe it's still sitting at 2.5. It frustrates me to no end. the more I think about this game, the more I feel like the Bucs are the side here. I know you're with me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tons of pushback this week about this line for us. The pros are obviously on the other side. They love the Patriots. They love them catching points here. They actually view these two teams as equals, which is shocking to me. I just have such a higher grade on this Bucs. So, yeah, we could be missing it here. Maybe what their view is that the Bucs will come out slow. This is a bad spot for them coming out of the bye week against a New England team that's just been a well-oiled machine these last couple of weeks, right? Even when they play bad, they're still squeaking out wins. So I guess the pros see, hey, really good competitive Vrabel team here, catch it 2.5 points. We should take it, but I think we're aligned. It's like this Bucs team, the veterans they are, they're easily going to make this a one-sided game. They're going to make Drake May beat them, right? We already know Vita Vea taking away that run game. It's going to be the number one priority here. So our biggest question is, do we get Baker after 2-3 weeks? Yep. Did he get his body right? And that's what we were betting into the unknown here. That's probably the only fear for me, is we just don't know the full health of Baker. And we know he was banged up heading into this. He just did not look right 2 games heading into this bye week. So under a field goal, like you said, it's too tempting not to pass this one. So yeah, 2 favorites for us this week. Ravens, Bucs, love them both.
Well, look, also, Ramondre Stevenson is out. Kayshon Boutte is out. And Boutte's been Drake May's down the field security blanket, even more than Stephon Diggs, for this Patriots offense going deep downfield. So we'll see how much of an impact that has on the game and the Patriots as well. All right. Our Brass Balls Bet of the Week, presented by Hard Rock Bet, was the Arizona Cardinals at +6.5 at Seattle. We're still in it. We're still in this game. There are actually 7s, even some 7.5s out there on Arizona. I would recommend you take those. We're both going to be on Arizona here. We like the Cardinals +6.5 in this spot at Seattle.
And like we keep saying, sharpest book, Hard Rock, only book right now with the -6 or +6.5 for the Cardinals in Jersey. Every other book is 7. Like Chad said, there's one book out there, still 7.5, but they're going out of business, so they're trying to get as much money as they can at this point. It's interesting, though. Like we talked about, I thought this would be 7.5 once it was Jacoby Brissett, just because it's a love affair with the Seahawks team. This whole week, it's just been, like we joked to Chad, people are loving the DVOA score of this Seahawks team. They're the highest rated team in like 10 years or 20 years in the top 5. It's just all love for this team. And people are going to see a theme here. We think this division, NFC West, all these divisional games will be close. And it just feels like that's going to be the pattern for this season. And we're banking on it here. We're taking a dog here in a matchup that, defensively, this is actually a great matchup scheme-wise for this Seahawks team. So I'm really excited to see if Jacoby Brissett can keep doing what he's been doing, which is really attacking the middle of the field. That's the Seahawks' biggest weakness. They don't have many defensively, but that is a weakness for them. In their secondary, you can attack the middle of the field. So Brissett, come on, buddy. Don't fail us here. Big bet on him this week at 6.5.
There is one fear, is that the Cardinals secondary is still pretty depleted. They're missing a couple of key players, and that's a real opportunity for Sam Darnold, who's just been lighting teams up and taking advantage of weaknesses defensively. But the flip side is the defensive line for the Cardinals has been getting much better. And they have been a physical team that has been keeping games close all year long. So that's another reason why we're on the Cardinals side, is they are not the kind of team that so far this year has let games get away from them, especially with Jacoby Brissett playing quarterback now and sort of entrenched as the starter on that team. All right. Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are now 6-point underdogs at Hard Rock Bet. The San Francisco 49ers are going to be our Rock in a Hard Place Hard Rock Bet of the Week. I've been informed by our producer, Matt Mitchell, that our Hard Rock in a Hard Place Bet of the Week has won 6 straight. This game, Simon, it's gone from 3.5 to 4 to 4.5 to 5 to 5.5 to 6. We're betting on the team that the line is going away from where we would like it to be going to show how good we think this number is, because 6 scares me, the fact that so much money is coming in on the Rams.
Yeah, because it is about looking at the matchups, right? When you're really breaking it down for this Rams team, defensively, you would expect them to be able to get after Mac Jones. This should be a really good matchup for their front. They're really good against the run, which that's another thing. If they can take that away, that's a huge deal. And offensively, Stafford's playing at MVP level. So I get why professionals in the public are coming in on this Rams team. I mean, we talked earlier in the week. I couldn't believe where it opened at 3, but I said at 3.5, that's when you start making a 49ers line, and feels true right now. I don't know if you saw the news. Mac Jones was named the starter this week, and Brock Purdy was questionable.
Yeah.
You want to eat some crow, Chad, or no? You were so sure of yourself and just ripping me for my Mac Jones take, which, again, isn't my take. I was getting it from other people. I don't want to believe in Mac Jones. But my God, I couldn't. When as soon as I saw it, I go, my God, don't text Chad. Save it for the show.
It's so fun. It's so funny you say that, because I did see the news. And by the way, the number moved off of the Mac Jones announcement. I couldn't find any other reason for the number to move. Like, it moved literally that second.
That's fair.
And I was surprised by it, because I thought this was already a Mac Jones line. Like, to me, I saw the news and I thought of you, and I was like, but this isn't really news to me. Like, I expected Mac Jones to be starting. I think they've said this injury with Purdy has been lingering. To me, I'm still seeing it at face value. You're seeing it as a Kyler Murray situation, which is different to me than Brock Purdy is all of a sudden going to be on the bench because they'd rather be playing Mac Jones.
I just threw the tinfoil hat on because I thought this was a possibility and people had told me it. I was shocked that Shanahan just put it out there so nonchalantly that, like, they're both practicing. Purdy's questionable. Regardless, the starter is Mac Jones this week. But it's also, it could be, like we always say, the hens to the wolves, right? They're just, rather than putting Purdy out in a horrible spot and him getting demolished, maybe let Mac Jones go out there, look terrible. So now you don't even have to question. The team can't question you now, giving the job back to Purdy. And again, we'll come back around when we go to our final 5. I have another opinion on this game.
Oh, interesting. All right. Buffalo at Miami. Dude, this one's moving down a little bit. It's 9.5 in a lot of places, but it's 9 at Hard Rock Bet. You've been trying to convince me on this game all week. I know Miami is the right side. I'll be honest, I still have not bet it. Every single day I go and I look at the lines and I go to bet this game, and I cannot get my thumb to press accept on the button when I finally have to make a decision.
I hate it too, but it's what we do. It's a long-term winner. We know the data backs it up. When you dive into the matchups, it's a good matchup. And I think we just both have the same fear where we just do not like this Miami team. We don't trust this Miami team. We don't trust Tua. We're worried they've simply quit on this team in the season, and they're just terrible in every ounce. So I get why you're scared. And we haven't even mentioned it. Their whole secondary is, like, injured as well. And they just gave away their number 1 pass rusher, Miami. So there's a lot to be negative here. But it's, again, all about trusting the line. It's just a big, big number, and Josh Allen tends to not cover them, especially in a letdown spot after such an emotional game the previous week. But could we easily get rolled here by 40 points, Chad? Yes, that's life betting these ugly, gross dogs. I've come to terms with it, but I just love this line so much. And like you said, it's luckily moving with us. So if this got to 10, I would be honestly scared, because that would mean there's a lot of professional love on this Bills team. Luckily, this is a couple books in Jersey have already moved to 8.5. So this seems this is really a pros versus Joes line, which I thought it would be. It a long term feels like we're on the right side here. I know that scares you with contest plays because you're trying to just live for this week, but I just love this spot for Miami. We just seen time and time again Tua on these homesteads. He bounces back. And I gave you that crazy stat. And I know it's a small sample in his career on the second back-to-back game after a loss when he's an underdog. Once again, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. So don't know if he's going to win this one, but I think they keep it close, and that backdoor opportunity is always going to be there against this suspect Bills defense.
All right. So I'm having a hard time finding a fifth, to be honest. We also talked a little bit about the Giants and the Bears. That game had gotten up to 4.5, Giants plus 4.5 at Chicago. It's going to be clear for the game. Snow right now, but it's supposed to clear up for the game. It's going to be very cold, 34 degrees. It's going to feel much colder because the winds are going to be 15 miles an hour. This is shaping up to be the kind of game where the expectation is it's going to be two teams trying to run the ball a lot. And obviously the Bears' rush offense has been so good, amongst the best in the NFL. And the Giants' rush defense is literally the worst in the NFL. So that's what worries me. But the Bears' defense is so bad that I do think Jackson Dart will find opportunities to keep this game close. I can't get this one out of my head. Like the weather's not going to be something that I think scares us. In fact, it could just play to an advantage for both teams and not making stupid mistakes through the air.
Yeah, you're right. I talked, I think on Thursday's show, just to take a position on the under. I believe it was 47 or 46.5 at that point. And you said it's come down. Now it's down to 45.5. So still some value there, in my opinion, if those wins are going to be what it is. And my biggest issue with the Giants is their secondary has their own rash of injuries. Another secondary that couldn't afford to have a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
And as much hate as we like to give Caleb, he is good at pushing the ball down the field. And like when he plays within the offense, you have a coach that schemes it up that the first read is usually wide open, whether it be your tight end streaking down the middle or Roma Dunze or DJ Moore. Like you guys just have so many weapons. I mean, it's why you're a top 5, top 10 offense right now. So I get where you're coming from. If this was no bad weather, I honestly would be on the Giants here. I would take a position on, but I just can't get there. And you're on the side of the professionals. I'm kind of on the side of the public here. I'm liking the Bears.
All right. Let's take a quick word from Hard Rock, and then we got to make our final 5 decision here. Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. It's that time of year when every day feels like a big game day. You've got pro football, college football, NBA, college hoops, hockey. It's all happening, and on Hard Rock Bet, there's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're not sure what to place your first bet on, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Here's one that stood out to me. Green Bay's Josh Jacobs has scored a touchdown in 13 straight games against NFC opponents. Check out the Stats Hub now. Get the edge and bet with confidence. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida. And it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states too. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day. So whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. All right. So we know we like Baltimore minus 3.5. We know we like the Bucs minus 2.5. We know we like Arizona plus 6.5. I'm leaving it up to you with Miami plus 9.5. So that's 4.
In.
So what did you want to say about San Francisco that's going to make me feel uncomfortable?
So we would be taking them in a bad line in our contest, unfortunately. It is 3.5. So that's a tough one. We already on two very public sides in the Bucs and the Ravens. Even though after last week I swore we wouldn't be on super public sides again. At least we don't have the Lions, and even though I do love the Lions spot, there's one more very public dog we haven't talked about, and that is the Eagles. The Eagles, which we both have been on Green Bay. We like it as a Green Bay spot. We like the matches for Green Bay. But it does matter. Injuries do matter. Tucker Kraft. A couple injuries to their defense. Golden is a game-time decision.
A.J. Brown is playing for the Eagles.
Phillips, a big asset they just traded for. Brandon Graham. Like, they got a bunch of guys back to that defensive line. Nolan Smith. You said A.J. Brown's back. Saquon's fully healthy. The only guy that's missing is their center, which, again, hasn't been that big of a deal. The guy that's replaced him has actually played pretty well. It's an interesting spot. Like we both like the 49ers. We like the number, but it's a bad number where we could be taking the Philly Eagles here at a good number. And that number is moving to 1.5 or minus a half now on the Eagles. So that's tough to. In a week we're taking a lot of bad lines. We could take a good one here in the Eagles. Or are we sucking ourselves in here taking these three chalky lines? We know they're chalk.
Yeah, look, this is why the show is so hard, like on a Sunday morning in real time, trying to make this decision right now when it's against. I'm on the Packers at -2.5. Like I got a bad line on the Packers. So, and I didn't buy out of it. So I'm going to be rooting against myself, and you're going to be rooting against yourself. And we know we're getting the better line with the Eagles, and we know it's probably the rational thing to do versus just wanting it to be the Niners.
I know. We're dug in here on the Niners. I'm trying to ward us off. Like last week, I didn't ward us off enough, and this week I'm trying to do it.
So, but what does that mean? Ward us off? Is that like, all right, here's the warning.
Like, we're on the 49ers,
no
no problem. We're telling people to take them 5.5 and get to 6. But is it really smart of us to put them in at 3.5 in this contest?
No, it's stupid.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to protect us from that. And even if it hits, again, good. We've all won money. We've all taken the 49ers here. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate that the Eagles, that's a good number. And when we talked about them, I didn't think AJ would be back. I thought they would have injuries. And, getting guys back like Dolan Smith and trading for a guy like Phillips, that's a huge upgrade. And we've seen the line reflect that despite it being such a pro spot for Green Bay, the line's moved 1.5, 2 points. So, again, I just wanted to bring that one up because I'm not here to I'm not trying to force the lines in. If I'm going to force a game in, even though I'm against it betting wise, I guess it's the Eagles.
All right, let's do the Eagles.
Doing the Eagles.
We're doing the Eagles because we're getting a much better number in the contest. That's really what we're talking about here. So the final 5. Jesus, I can't believe that's such a shock to me. I can't believe 2 minutes ago I did not see us putting the Eagles in. Baltimore -3.5. Bucs -2.5. Arizona 6.5. Miami 9.5. It's on you, brother. Philadelphia +2.5. That's on Monday night. So we're going to have to torture ourselves and wait for Monday Night Football. I don't even know if I'll be able to watch the game. It might take me 85 tries and 4 different passwords, and God knows how I'm going to be able to watch this game on ESPN. But we're going to have to figure out a way. You
have to watch on your iPad, NFL app.
I'm going to have to put a fucking paperclip in my, coaxial cable line or whatever. All right. That's where we're at. This has been Sharper Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Sharper Square YouTube tonight at 7:30 Eastern. We're going to recap all the misery and glory of the day. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharper Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, download from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe. Leave us 5 stars. Say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until tonight. Love you.
Hey, let's be careful.